Hi everyone, it's Kadesha,
Samantha.
And Sandy.
and we're back with another fun episode on the Deeper Than Tech podcast, where we talk about how to grow your career in an industry that was not designed with us in mind. Today's topic is, do college degrees matter for software engineers? Inquiring minds want to know. We'll be diving deep into this topic, but before we do, if you're loving our podcast so far, we'd appreciate it if you shared it with a friend or coworker. You can also tag us on social media so that we know that you're actively listening. Welcome back to our episode. So today we're diving deep into, does a college degree matter for software engineers? Samantha, what do you think about that?
That is a tough question that we talk about all the time. Does my degree matter? Well, currently I do not have a software computer science degree, so clearly my degree does not matter when it comes to this field. But yeah, I don't think it does. I think I think Elon Musk said he would hire anybody whether you have a engineering degree or not. So I truly don't think it matters if you have one. What about you, Sandy?
Yep, same. I don't really think it matters. I think you just have to have the aptitude for learning. You just have to be interested in coding, but I don't think if you don't have the degree, it's an end all be all. There's way too much opportunity in the tech industry for it to be just limited to that degree. So
That's so true.
It's definitely
I would say about 50% of the people at my job don't have college degrees or don't have computer science specific degrees. So yeah, definitely not needed.
That's a pretty high percentage.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people at my job are also self-taught.
Yes,
Yes.
Very true. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I find at my job. There are a lot of self-taught developers who are senior engineers doing amazing things without CS degrees, and I love to see it because I don't have a CS degree either. But do we have degrees? Like Samantha, do you have a degree? If you do, what's your degree in? Can you hear the dog barking in my background?
It's okay.
A little bit.
We love dogs, so that's totally okay.
It's not even my dog.
So me personally, I have a theater design degree, which I did sets and costumes, and I think it's super useful for what I actually do today. So I'm mostly a front-end engineer where I am in between design and back end. So I think it makes it easier for me to communicate with the designers because I do have that design background in mind. So
nice. How about you, Sandy?
So for me, I do have a college degree, and my degree is in chemistry. So a lot of people are like, chemistry, science to tech, and I'm like, well, it's still in the STEM umbrella. And there with any degree, you can just transfer the skills you have into tech. Tech is not there are too many skills for you that you have that you can just transfer. So don't let your degree limit you. And honestly, people who have arts degree, design degree, I've met too many that are also in the tech field. So
some people have law degrees. I'm like, wow, that is a big change.
You're a whole lawyer.
You're a whole lawyer.
I met someone who went through medical school.
Yeah.
They're a whole doctor. And they're working in tech as a developer.
Because tech is fun. That's why. That is why.
And also, tech isn't just coding. I know our podcast is about engineering, but tech isn't just software engineer. There's so many different roles and avenues that you can get into technology. We need your skills and what you have to offer. So I know my college degree is in social work. So I am a natural helper. I love helping people, giving them resources, but social work just wasn't cutting it. So I made the transition to software development. But I do find that my social work skills, especially I have really, really good communication skills, and I'm very good at breaking down complex topics into bite-sized pieces that people can understand. So I feel like that comes from my being a social worker, and that's what I bring to my team, and they love it.
Those are very good skills that any engineer needs. So I'm glad that you're able to bring that into your job as well.
Absolutely. So I was reading an article the other day and it said that developers with college degrees earn 7.5% more than developers with no college education, regardless of whether or not it's a CS degree or not. What do we think about that? Do you think software engineers with college degrees out earn developers with no college degrees?
I think I can see some truth to that. I did at my job, there was someone who didn't have a college degree, and they had the same learning experience. They did a boot camp, but they never had the degree. And
Mm.
in our company, we have different band levels. So me with being a software engineer, I mean, me with having a college degree, I was like, oh, two band levels ahead of him, even though we had the same
Oh.
experience. And if you have a higher band level, you have a higher salary. So his salary
Mhm.
was very low.
Oh, that's
So I
interesting.
definitely do think, and it wasn't fair because we were like, you were so smart, you contributed so much, but it was, I think it was that the fact that he had no degree. He did a program called Europe, and that tends to help diverse candidates who don't
Hmm.
have a degree get a job in the tech industry. Um, but the twist, I think, is the salary they get once they land the job.
That's
Mm.
interesting.
Yeah, I definitely think because when you think about recruiters, their job is to bring people into the company, and if they have a pipeline that's from a CS degree student to a full-time worker, it's a lot easier for them to bring those people into the pipeline. So they already have like a salary set, but when they have to go out and find people who may not be in that pipeline, I think they get hurt more because they're not sure what to do with those people. They don't not
Mm.
sure if they can trust that this person's going to be able to do the job. So those people might be hired at a level down just because they feel more confident doing that because they don't know their skills yet. So I definitely think people who have a college degree might get a leg up, but doesn't mean that people without a degree can't get a job. I think the industry is so open to people from all these diverse backgrounds and without degrees and giving them a chance into tech.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's such a good point. I think that I do think that having a college degree gives you a leg up because going through college and getting that degree, it's very hard. No
Mm-hmm.
matter what your major is, it shows that you know how to commit to something, you can complete a task, you know how to follow instructions. It demonstrates a lot of soft skills that can be transferable into a job, but it's just like, don't worry if you don't have a degree, you can still get a role in technology, but just be mindful of the fact that they may look at you to get into like a lower level position than somebody
Exactly.
who has your experience with a college degree.
Yeah. And even your work experience is so important
Oh,
to like
yeah.
bring up because those also will give you great um, soft skills to bring in.
Oh, yeah. I would choose somebody who had work experience in customer service and somebody that just graduated from college
Yep.
because they already know how to work in a work environment and how to relate to people and converse with people, hopefully. So they have all those people skills that they can transfer into the job.
Yeah. You could teach somebody how to code, but you can't teach people how to be nice people. So
Exactly. Exactly. So, how do we feel about skipping college entirely to attend something like a coding boot camp? Would you do that? I don't know if I would do that.
I think that's tough. If I was 18 years old again, whew, that'd be so nice. But if I was 18 years old again, I don't think I would go straight to a coding boot camp. I think there's so much life that you need to learn. I think I wouldn't go to like a private college because of these school loans are just ridiculous. I would maybe go to a community college and get those like base skills.
Yep.
Like nobody can take your education away, and if you have the time and to do that, you should go and learn as much as possible. I think after maybe you get your associate's degree, maybe go straight to like a trade college or,
Yeah.
as you say, like a boot camp. But that's what I would do that.
Mm, I wouldn't. I also wouldn't. I probably would be interested in skipping college, but my parents just wouldn't allow that. They do like anything with not going to college is like what? What did I
Does
hear?
not compute.
It doesn't compute. So I definitely would not have had the option to skip it. But if it was up to me, I probably would do it.
Yeah.
But if I could go back in time, I'd still do college, but I I try to get a college that has like a strong alumni network. The college I went to, I didn't really do too much research before attending, so I definitely would do significant research to see what I can get out of that college and what alumni could I network with
Yeah.
afterwards.
Yeah, I don't think I would skip college entirely as well. I think I did go the route of going to a community college and then transferring into a bigger college because it was a lot cheaper. And it's the
Good
same
choice.
education. Yeah, it was a lot cheaper. Than I got scholarships to go to the bigger university or whatever. So I don't think I would skip it entirely. And it's interesting that you brought up your parents. So like I'm Jamaican, and my mom, she would not be having it, even though she's not even in the U.S.
Yeah.
She would not be having it. It's just like, you're not going to college, so how are you going to live? How are you going to take care of yourself?
How are you going to be successful?
How are you going to be successful?
Yeah.
Because education is the key to success. Like,
Yeah.
what are you talking about? But what do you think about even the cost of boot camps if you're not going into college as a, let's say you don't want to go to college as a, what do you call it? 18-year-old. I forgot. As an 18-year-old.
It's been a while.
Let's say you don't want to go to college as an 18-year-old. How do you even pay for it? Because the federal government currently doesn't pay for alternative schools like boot camps. So how do we pay for that?
I definitely search for scholarships. I know there's like huge needs for like diversity in terms of like minorities. So like women's scholarships, there are lots of women's scholarships, and there's lots of scholarships for like Black, Latino. So I go that route and try to see how can the government fund me to go get this money in the tech industry.
Yeah.
That's the route I took, actually.
Yeah. I think scholarships, yeah, definitely the way to go. And sometimes you could cut costs by going to an online boot camp versus an in-person boot camp. You could probably save like thousands of dollars. Unfortunately, you might have to get loans out. Hopefully you have good credit at 18 to get that loan for yourself. Yeah, I think yeah.
That's true. I found a list of, I think, over 40 something scholarship for bootcamp students as well. So the scholarships are out there. You kind of just have to search for it. Or you could also go to like a free boot camp if you're disciplined enough and have the mental fortitude to like go through it on your own. You can definitely go that route as well.
Yeah.
What do we
Speaking of discipline, would y'all self-study and not go to boot camp and just learn on your own?
Absolutely
not.
Why wouldn't you give that a chance?
You just gotta know yourself. And I always needed a classroom and some structure for my learning style. So self-taught was just out the window for me.
I tried to go the self-taught route. So I made a whole plan. I'm like, these are the technologies that I need to learn. This is the month I want to learn it in. Let's go. But it was hard. I got to JavaScript and I was just like, what is JavaScript doing? Like, what is this? It was so hard for me to put all the pieces together on my own. And even asking questions to people in the developer community on Twitter, that was not helpful. So I did try it, but it was too much work. So I just went to the boot camp.
Yeah, I think there needs to be like a schedule for people who want to be self-taught. When I tried self-taught, it did not work out for me as well. Like I quit my job and I was like, I'm gonna just learn how to code, but I slept instead. And I wish there was like a schedule that I could follow and like, this is what you need to learn today, this is what you need to learn tomorrow. I did not have that. I was trying to make it up myself. So I think a good course would be like free code camp would be a great place to start off with. You can learn JavaScript and they tell you exactly what to learn.
Absolutely.
Or like Code Academy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Code Academy is cool.
Code Academy is nice too. I love Code Academy. Okay. So on to the next question. What do we think? So Google recently launched their career certificate program, and they claim that they'll accept it as a 4-year degree for whoever completes one of their tracks. What do we think about that? Do we think programs such as this certificate program or even Udemy's nano degree programs are helpful, like a helpful or useful alternative to college degrees?
For me, somebody who is an older person and has a full-time job and they want to learn how to code, I think it's a great option.
Yep.
So you don't have to like invest so much money in going back to college or invest so much time, because a lot of college classes you're just wasting. Like, I don't need to know the history of 1975 or something like that. I don't need to know that right now. I really just need to learn how to code. So those are, I think, for me, if Google trusts me enough to complete their course, I trust Google enough to
Find me a job.
complete it.
Yep.
And find me a job, Google.
To find me a job. I really feel like this year they're really pushing it because they want it to be successful. So if anyone wants to do it, I think this year is the year to like dive in and really commit to it, because Google, I know for sure Google wants to say, hey, it works, we're successful, these people got jobs, you can do it too.
Right.
Come pay for our course and we'll help you as well. So I think like now is a good time to get into it. I really like that they offer it. It's a great alternative for current professionals, as Samantha says, that's trying to transition into the technology space.
I like that term, current professionals.
Current professionals.
Yeah, I definitely don't think I'd like pass on college to do, like, I guess it depends on what you want out of college. Like if you want experience, then you're gonna want to go to college. But if you are set on just, I want to make money, I don't really need to make friends, I don't really need to, experience, then I think this option would be great. I think it's just what do you want out of your next position in life?
Yeah. I also saw on TikTok the other day, this person was talking about a free college, like 100% free online college. I think it's called For the People. Or
nice.
People University.
I'm totally with it.
Me too. People University. Something about People University or something. It's an online school. And all you have to pay for is like the administrative fee. So like to apply and stuff, but it's completely free. And you get like a real degree. I'm like, where was this when I was going to school as a Jamaican immigrant, trying to figure out life in this country?
Was it accredited?
Ooh, good question.
I didn't check that. That's a good question. But maybe. I don't know. I see a degree is a degree is a degree to me. But maybe. I don't know. That's a good question. What do we think about liberal arts degree in the tech field? I personally think they're very helpful because liberal art majors are typically more creative and they're more flexible in their approach to problems. And they bring a lot of people skills to the table, which is so important in the tech field.
So I'm a liberal arts major, and I think I'm doing great in life. So very, very good.
She said casually. 100%. I think again, it doesn't really like liberal arts degree, non-liberal arts degree. I still feel like there's value in both, and you can always spin it to your advantage. So I definitely think if you want to do liberal arts, definitely go for it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, one thing that you need to do when you're like applying for jobs is figure out like what your job is really good at, your core strengths, and make sure you leverage that in your cover letter. Leverage that when you're talking in the interview. I think there's so much experience that you can bring with your degree, with your work experience into the job that's way more beneficial than a bunch of CS students all coming in at one time. So I think that's what you should leverage, especially when they're talking about pay band stuff and like where you fall in the pay band. Yes, a computer science student might be able to solve these really crazy algorithms, but can they work with product and de-scope things because they understand what the user needs at that time? So leverage what you got. We all want what you got, so
we all want what you got. We all want what you got. Please come join us in the tech field because we desperately need you. Does anybody else have anything else to add?
No, this is great. I really enjoy this conversation for sure.
Absolutely. So I guess the bottom line is having a degree, it doesn't hurt. It can help you in a lot of ways. And there are a lot of options out there for people who really don't want to go the college route. You can go to a boot camp, you can do self-taught, you can take a certificate program, you can do a nano degree, you can go to a free university online. There's so many options in 2021 that you really don't have any excuse to not do what you want to do. So having a degree for software engineering is not necessary, but it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. It won't bite you.
No.
So Thanks so much for listening to another episode of the Deeper Than Tech podcast. Don't forget to share it with your friends or coworker and leave us a review. Until next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.